The public that's watching this program, and this is also going to be in Grafton County, where a lot of your views are, and into the North Country, because all of this has an effect on people. When they look at their tax bill and they start to see this increase every year, do they know that Ray's on that commission as well as the
They know he's on
council?
that commission, but it's just not brought out into public view. Now, we have a Republican that was filed to run against Michael Cryans in his district.
Okay.
Remember, Michael Cryans is one of the 3 commissioners.
And he's a Democrat.
And he's a Democrat. We have a Republican that filed to run against him.
So which one did Ray support?
Ray Burton came out and said, Michael Cryans is my friend, and I'm going to support Michael Cryans over the Republican.
Did he know the Republican?
He knew him very well.
And he said, I'm not going to support you, I'm supporting the Democrat instead?
It doesn't make any difference if Ray knew the Republican or not. If he didn't feel comfortable supporting the Republican, you be quiet. You don't say a word.
But he went out.
But he came out, and this is in print. This was in the Valley News, that Ray Burton came out in support of a Democrat over a Republican. Then we have Martha Richards, who is a former commissioner. And she and Michael Cryans and Ray Burton love to spend our money, all 3 of them together. And that's why she got voted out of office, because she was just spending too much money. Now she's running again against Omer Ahern. And we asked Ray, will you support Omer Ahern, a Republican? And by the way, Ray, you have an R after your name, don't you? Against Martha Richards, a Democrat that spends and spends and spends. Ray refused to support Omer Ahern over a tax and spend Democrat. So what is Ray?
Well,
is he an R or is he an D? Is he an R or is he a what?
Well, first off, you got him running for the governor's council instead of the executive council. And now you've got him supporting Democrats instead of Republicans. Doesn't that put a question in people's minds?
Well, not only that, but you've got him giving raises.
When you should be at least...
And reimbursements to monies that they were responsible for, again, on their health care, their deductible.
So people are losing their jobs.
So you're wondering...
Other people are cutting back, and other people are giving up on unemployment. And we're giving raises, and we're giving bonuses, and...
Well, that tells me that if you want to be better than anybody else, you should be a county employee.
Well, he put in the news the other day that 70%, if you're a government employee, they did a comparison of public service jobs versus government jobs, including their benefits. And now it's gone so far as that the average public job is receiving 70% more than the average job that everybody else has out of private sector. So
wow.
The balance has got way out of balance.
Way out of balance. And who's paying for that, by the way?
I think it's everybody here.
Everybody here, exactly. Exactly.
And our viewers. So how are you planning to be different? You get down there to Concord, and you're around that table, the governor's at one end, and the other 4 executive counselors, and you're one of those executive counselors. How can we trust that you're not going to get contaminated like Ray over 30 years?
Well, you could, Peter, you've known me for quite a few years.
Mm-hmm.
I've supported business throughout I was on the NFIB Commission, the Leadership Council.
What is the NFIB? So
the National Federation of Independent Businessmen. And we are in Concord and we are in Washington, D.C. And we support business because business are the people that provide jobs.
Mm-hmm.
Government doesn't provide jobs. If you get a job with the government, that means you're having to pay more to support that individual. So if you put on 1 person, or 10 people, or 100 people, or 1,000 people, then the bill goes up exponentially out of your taxes. If you have private industry who puts on employees, then you're paying taxes to the state. You're paying taxes to the federal government. It's what makes the wheel go round.
Mm-hmm.
There's just so many things that have gone wrong over the last several years. And Ray is a very good friend of Governor Lynch, and I guess he just hates to disappoint him.
Well, give some other examples of where you have skills of management,
Contracts.
okay?
25 years I own my business. I have to read and I have to sign my name on every single contract that I will perform those contracts by the letter. I know how to read through them. I know how to read them in and out.
Well, I've seen some of your work. You're at the laboratory up at Dartmouth College.
We did that.
I remember some of these big buildings in Boston, giant towers. When you walk out of the elevator, you see all this beautiful woodwork. Many times that's your work.
That's our work. We have done work in
The Supreme
virtually.
Court, down in Concord.
Down in Concord. We did the Rudman Courthouse. There's 5 courtrooms there, and then on the 4th floor, there's the judges, they're not chambers, but they're their offices up there, and wow, those are pretty extravagant. We've done that. We've done work at UNH. If you remember Hitchcock Hospital when it was in Hanover, and it moved to Lebanon,
Right.
and took on the name Dartmouth Hitchcock Hospital, well, we did 7 of the original buildings at Dartmouth Hitchcock Hospital. We do work at UNH.
So you not only know how to bid low, but you also have to bid quality, and they pick the best because they've already know your work and they know that it's being done right.
Well, many times we were approached by contractors and said, we want you to do this job. We said, great, thank you very much. Oh, but we want you to do it for the low bid price. I said, well, I'm sorry, but the low bid price, we can't do it for that price because it's too low. Yeah, but I said, well, why do you want me to do it? And they said, well, we know that you can do the job right and get it done. Well, we're not so sure about this fellow over here. I said, well, why are you talking to me? Go talk to that fellow over there, because you don't want to pay me my price, so go talk to him.
So you're not always a low bidder, you're the bidder that has the quality.
That's right. You know, I had 22, 24 foremen, depending on the time, and every one of them came up through the ranks. And they had to have Jerry Thibodeau's attitude. We get it right the first time. They had to be responsible, they could be able to talk with the contractors. You know, I had to negotiate with contractors, with owners, with architects, with unions, and I had to bring it all together.
And this is exactly what you'd be doing as an executive counselor.
Absolutely the same thing.
Making decisions. Well, the thing I like about it, you're showing me, and I'm trying not to be biased here, but it's my dollars too. And when you're dealing here, when you're able to go and even the governor and say, look, you don't have a contract, you don't have the information, how can we as business people make decisions? So you're not having a problem asking questions and putting their feet to the fire to protect the public from bad decisions that are in that big stack of pile of, I mean, they're going through 100 things at one time.
Well, you have to read the contracts before you get to the table.